Better than I was, 7 months ago.
The Bay, what's
It's been a
up?
grind. It's been an adventure, to say the least. But I'm in a lot better place now.
Listening to
Physically,
Cousins.
I'm coming along great. As of right now, it hasn't been any setbacks, and I feel a lot stronger. I'm getting my feet back under me, and I'm starting to feel like an athlete again.
Front row, left-hand side. Tim?
Over here, DeMarcus on the Athletic. Heard you've been in here a few times working out. What kind of stuff can you do? Are you mostly just shooting, or are you able to do some
Boogie
post moves, a little bit of explosion at all?
Boogie, yeah.
Doing a little bit of everything. Post moves, shooting. I'm getting up and down the court. I'm running full court drills. I've gotten some one-on-one, two-on-two sessions in. So I'm progressing well. Everything's on track, and it's just a matter of time.
Front row, right-hand side here, Mark.
Hi, DeMarcus. Mark Medina, Bay Area News Group. Obviously, the Warriors have been stressing patience and the big picture with your recovery, but just internally, are there any set expectations, goals of when you hope you can come back with?
As of right now, it's about getting healthy, and that's something we all agreed on, and that's the biggest priority for us right now. Well, with my situation, which is getting healthy. So,
yeah.
When we feel we've got to that point, we'll sit down and we'll figure out when it's time to return.
Center section, second row, left-hand side. Mark?
Because what has the last 7 months been like? The ups and downs of it. What's been the biggest high and the biggest low?
It's been hard. I would be lying if I told you anything differently. It's been an absolute grind. It's taken a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment, and it's been a grind. It's been a real grind. So it's probably one of the hardest things, physically and mentally I've been through in my career so far, and I've learned a lot through this process. I've learned a lot about myself. So it's been a grind, man. That's the best way for me to put it. But like I said, I've learned a lot about myself. I've taken some positives out of this situation. I learned from the negatives, and I'm moving forward with my life.
Front row, center, right here, right side. Connor?
Marcus, with you out at least the next few months, several young guys, Jordan, Kevon, Damian, are going to be competing for that starting spot. How can you balance your rehab with also mentoring those young guys?
They're my young guys anyway, so you're going to teach the game regardless. You want what's best for your teammates. You want them to succeed. So anything I can do to, help in any way, I'm going to do that. So, I've been in the gym working with Jordan and Damian so far, and, those guys are full of potential. They're like sponges. They take in all the information they can. They're a big part of this team. They're carrying the load right now, so of course I'm gonna give everything I can to help them.
Second row, center here, second row.
DeMarcus, Jeff Ferrato, the Bay Area News Group. You said you learned something about yourself through this process. Can you explain what that was? And can you also talk about just, if you try to look ahead a little bit to when you're on the court with all these guys, how excited you are and what you guys could be?
I'm stubborn as hell. I thought I knew that before, but I'm really starting to realize it now. My drive is only increased. I'm seriously like a madman right now. I mean, I think you guys will see a new DeMarcus on the floor, and I can't wait to get to that point. Just
the new DeMarcus
I have put into this injury. So I think you'll see it when the product's on the floor. But when it comes to this team, it's basically there. You can see it on paper. On paper, it looks great. Of course, we got to go in and put the work in, but the potential is scary for this team, and it's on us to, bring that potential out.
Second row, left-hand side. Phil?
DeMarcus, yeah, you were talking about what a grind this has been for you. What was it mentally that helped you get through the toughest parts of that? When you, like, if you really hit a wall during this rehab, like, what was the motivation, or what were you telling yourself to get through?
The haters. That's all I need. I feed off of it. I love it.
Love you haters.
Center section.
We feed off of it.
Throughout your career, you've played against the Warriors, and it seems like they were the one that you were chasing. How does it feel today to put on a Warriors uniform? Did you ever think that was possible? And how does it feel like you actually put it on today?
I never thought this situation would happen, but you know, it's happened. So you know, this is my team, and anybody that's followed me before this moment, you know how I fight for my team. So it's the same thing. You step to them, you stepping to me.
Woo! You hear that, Brian? You step to Cousins. You step to any one of the Warriors. You step into him.
How's the actual acclimation process to the Bay Area?
I'm trying to get used to this traffic, man. This traffic is crazy. 8 o'clock in the morning, it's bumper to bumper. So I'm still trying to find the right times to travel.
All right, center section, third row back. Sorry, just raised his hand there with the nice tie on.
DeMarcus, how has the conversation been like, just obviously off the court with your teammates when you're assigned? How has that been beneficial? And just the last part, the benefits of you making that donation to your hometown for that basketball court?
What was your first question? I'm sorry.
What was the conversation like with your teammates after you signed? How did that benefit you in the offseason, and obviously the home court?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've spoken on it earlier in the summer, but you know, it was all excitement, which was, you know, a surprise to me. I mean, these guys are back-to-back champions, and it's obvious they could be the type of guys that say we don't need any more help.
Cousins will be there after the All-Star break.
You know, they deserve that right, but you know, they welcomed me with open arms. They were super excited. You know, any player, I think, you know, they appreciate that coming from their teammates. So you know, it was a warm feeling for me, and you know, I appreciate those guys for that. But referring to the court, you know, I'm big on, you know, helping my community. I'm not really a guy that likes to talk about it or you know, boast about it. I look at myself more as a foot soldier. I like to really be in the community and have put some type of change and effect to it. So I mean, I don't even really like, honestly, to talk about it, but you know, some of the money went to the court. It went to, you know, some of the other things, the block party as well. The whole 250 didn't go to the court, but it's just community work. I'm just doing my part.
Great. Far left-hand side, third row in the back. Felicia.
Hi, DeMarcus. You took your high school jersey out of retirement, and for those who may not know, Drake Ward and his video. Can you talk about how that happened and how did you guys connect with that?
You know, Drake's a good friend of mine, and you know, he reached out and he asked, he wanted to wear the jersey, but we were actually out of town and my brother was still in the city. So my brother ended up driving it down to New Orleans, which is about 2 hours away, hour and a half away. And, you know, he dropped it off to Drake, and, you know, the rest is history. So it was pretty simple.
Left-hand section, front row, Anthony.
Yeah, I know you guys have obviously stressed patience with your rehab.
Drake is always in the middle of something, ain't he? And I thought he's supposed to be a doggone Raptors fan.
Really kind of saying, like,
why is Drake always in the middle of everybody else's business? Drake gonna end up running the Toronto Raptors. He already do it.
I'll just be glad to be on the floor playing basketball again.
Hey guys, today we're here to talk about trucks.
I love trucks.
Oh no, we ain't. You might be here to talk about trucks. I'm not.
Really official over there.
Yeah. It's unofficial?
No, it said you look really official over there.
Look really efficient? Today, has this been one of your most efficient?
Davidson versus Wichita this year.
They are, yeah.
What you gonna do?
Well, I don't think that's even a question.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
We don't bet.
Maybe we'll bet a suit. I'll bet you the collar on your dress shirt.
Fire away, Monty, first row here.
Davidson at Wichita State, what you want to do?
All the stuff you guys went through last year on
Steph!
the court. How much of that you think can help?
Steph is on the podium.
Grow and develop. You mentioned about how tough it was last year to get through it all. And do you think, when you look back on it, that those are things that can make you guys stronger and better going into this year?
I feel like I say, every year is different. There are different challenges, different obstacles, whatever the case is, and especially win a championship, you're going to go through some ups and downs, whether it's injuries, lack of energy from time to time, lack of focus, rough. That's going to happen this year somewhere, at some point. But we have to figure out a way to, rally the troops and keep our eye on being the best that we can be throughout the year, looking to peak at the right time, and really have that smooth transition with the new additions that we have. So I mean, there are a lot of things for us to focus on this year in terms of like mini goals that will lead to us winning another championship, as well as dealing with the hurdles that will come with just the length of the season.
Right hand side, front row, Mark.
So Steph, Mark, Virginia Barry News Group, with the ankle and knee stuff you had last year.
I should be ashamed talking about Beyonce's drum. What's on with this random stuff?
Procedures or anything of that sort?
No, it's just more so get with my trainer about the right approach to the summer in terms of how much I was on my feet, strength conditioning work and all that I usually do, trying to ramp that up a little bit more, but with a perspective around not burning myself out over the summer in terms of I definitely had an ankle situation last year that needed time to recover, and I wanted to really try to pace myself over the summer. This is probably one of the best summers I've had in terms of my prep work going into a year, so I'm excited about what that'll mean on the court.
Front row, left-hand side, Marcus?
Yeah, he seems a lot different physically.
Durant signing a 1+1, we are all going to be asking about it all year. What's the key for you guys to not let that be a distraction or issue in the locker room, knowing that you'll have 3 free agents potentially next year?
That doesn't matter right now. We have 5 preseason games, 82 regular season games, and hopefully 16 wins in the playoffs, and then you can ask all the questions you want. So I think KD's going to have that perspective. DeMarcus had that perspective. Even Draymond and Clay with their contract situations, is you can nitpick everything, and that's what's going to happen. It's part of what we do for a living. But the best teams and the best individuals are able to shut that out when it comes to playing basketball and enjoying the opportunity that we have as a team to do that. So I feel like we have the right guys with the right mindset to be able to turn that off when they need to.
Front row, right-hand side here, Janie.
Hi, Steph. The Warriors announced Bruce Frazier as one of the promotions today in terms of to assistant coach. How happy are you for him? And he's meant so much to your skill work and shooting drills.
Well, first I didn't know the official announcement. Like he's a catalyst to what who we are as a team and our identity. He does way more than just quote unquote coach. He's a people guy and understanding the ins and outs of what makes a cohesive unit with all the different personalities you have and whatnot. And he has such a great awareness and feel and touch to his communication, his timeliness and whatnot that go way beyond just X's and O's or what you see me do on this basket after practice and stuff like that. So you need a guy like you that has great feel. He's really genuine and authentic with everything that he does. And for me to have that daily interaction with him, that kind of keeps my perspective, straight as well, no matter what happens throughout the season. So, it's obviously great to have him, but for that to be recognized in terms of his position is huge.
Front row, left-hand side, Anthony.
Yeah, have you envisioned like running 1 and 5 type pick and roll stuff with Cousins, and then as the point guard, potentially, you know, on that unit that'll have 5 All-Stars, you know, have you envisioned the good of that, but also maybe the challenges of trying to make sure everyone gets their touches?
Yeah, it's a lot to think about in terms of opportunity. What I probably should do is like spend like 50 hours logging on 2K and just simulate it all. See what happens, see what works and doesn't work, see what I can use on the court.
Oh, that's a shot at LeBron.
When he comes back, we're obviously gonna have a lot of minutes logged in terms of Damian playing center and JB kind of filling in the.
Y'all hear that shot at LeBron?
And rotating those guys through.
I'm gonna get my Kawhi laugh on.
We'll obviously have a game plan, how we want to attack those situations, how the rotation will happen and whatnot, and our IQ in terms of being in the right spot and being purposeful about what we do, I think will take over as the season goes on.
I'm a Kawhi laugh, baby.
Side, third row, back.
Steph, I'm Annika. I'm from Swedish radio. There's so many stars in this league, but there's only one Swede, and now he's on this team. And the Golden State Warriors are already incredibly popular in Sweden. What do you think about Jonas Jerebko now that he's joining your team, and what do you think his role will be on the team?
I'm like, who?
I mean, somebody huge for us, just filling holes and pieces. I think he's a really versatile player. He's tough. He can shoot. He can play defense.
Somebody named Jonas from Sweden on there. Now we have one Sweden player. They got one person from Sweden over there.
One thing I've noticed just about him, he seems like a very confident guy in terms of when he gets that opportunity, he'll take it and run with it. And I think he's very motivated after, you know, the last couple of years just kind of playing spot minutes or whatnot, having an official role in a team that has a chance to win a championship. I think that hopefully unlock something from him that we will love to see.
Middle section, second row back.
Man, she probably flew all the way from Sweden to ask that question.
Managed.
No, we have someone from Sweden.
Your off-season time better because you guys don't seem as fatigued. Everybody seems a little bit more spry than perhaps the last 2 years. And also, does it also help that, and also your thoughts on it, LeBron being in LA, that a lot of attention has gone south?
Nah, that second part doesn't matter in terms of we know we're going to be our biggest, I call it enemy, I guess, in terms of how we approach the season. Like last year, between September and December, it kind of sucked, to be honest, in terms of like the vibe. Like we were all trying to figure it out, play, you know, at a higher level than we were, but it never really clicked the way we wanted to. I don't think anybody wants to go through that feeling again because it was tough in terms of just we knew what we were supposed to be doing.
I know who the player is. I didn't know he's from
I think
Sweden.
everybody's intentions were right, but just the way that the summer and preseason last year went, it just didn't click until later. This year we want to really enjoy what we do, and it starts with tomorrow in practice, setting the right tone, having the right, you know, like you say, excitement and energy and juice. Understanding it's a marathon. There's a lot of time between now and April and May and June, but if we go about it the right way to start the season, it can feed on itself in terms of the expectation we have night in, night out, unlocking some of the young guys in terms of them being in the rotation, things like that, and then doing what we do.
Middle section, third row back.
Steph, Jason Dumas, Cron for Sports. Obviously, you're a very accomplished player throughout your career. You've been through a lot. You know, you've been through injuries.
He took a shot.
You won MVPs. You've lost
Took a shot at Bron. I think we're going to put it on 2K and play simulate mode and see what happens when they react to it in the game. I'll tell you, I got a Kawhi laugh. Got a Kawhi laugh on that one.
Heading into this season, given all you've been through in your career?
It's really cliche, but just staying in the moment and understanding what's at stake this coming year. There's a lot to gain and there's a lot more to accomplish. I'm obviously very appreciative and happy and proud of the images you see on the practice city around here and the memories that we've had, but we're right in the thick of another run, and you don't really have time to kind of sit back and rest and relax and say, look what we've done. I don't think any of us got to this point by doing that, and that shouldn't change now. So these pictures in here are just motivation to go after more, because it does feel that good to be, the champs, and to have with all that comes with it, and do it with guys that you like, playing basketball with and like playing for, from a coaching staff perspective too. So nothing lasts forever in this league, but we've always said we want to keep this going as long as we can, and we're right in the thick of it.
Middle section in the back, Ron.
So you guys all seem to have invested at some point, a lot of you a lot more heavily than others. How much do you guys talk about that amongst yourselves, the companies that you're investing in, and how much of that is, the opportunity you have here in the Bay Area with the number of startups and the number of venture capitalists? What kind of opportunities do you have here that you wouldn't have in another NBA city?
I think we've all done a great job of just doing it our own individual, unique ways. We definitely talk about it as a topic of conversation on the daily of what opportunities guys are aware of, what they've invested in, how they can get other guys involved, more on the just overall education of what's out there. If you look at pretty much everybody, myself, Andre, Draymond, KD, DeMarcus, guys have so much going on off the court that it's only amplified by what other guys are doing in the league, and kind of creating that momentum and that wave from year to year. I think being in Silicon Valley definitely helps. You get to meet a lot of different people and network, and you kind of are right in the thick of things. But guys in the NBA in a whole, no matter what city they're in, are finding ways to expand in that area as the years go on. I think that's pretty special to watch and be a part of that growth.
Left-hand side, third row in the back, Felicia.
Steph, you said that this was your best off-season prep-wise, but it was also your best off-season personally. You got your third ring and you had your third kid. How is Cannon different, having a boy? How's that different? How is he different than your other two?
Well, every parent knows, I guess, that every kid's a little bit different, have something unique about them, and for us, it's definitely special to welcome him to the family. And he's only 3 months old now, so still a lot of time to go. So definitely happy. He hasn't gone to an NBA game yet, so we'll check that off the box very soon.
Middle section in the back.
Do you see that three-peat as a historic achievement, or do you feel that you already made the history as a team?
I think we have made history, but in terms of what's in front of us, again, you got to be able to turn the page and look ahead, and that's the opportunity that's in front of us. It gets even more, I guess, elite in terms of how few teams have accomplished the three-peat. I think only one other team has gone to the finals 5 times in a row, if I'm correct. I think the Celtics. So, all those things we should talk about, because it's kind of rare air, but it doesn't change our process in terms of how we go through training camp and the season and building towards that. So I don't think anybody should shy away of talking about that, having that conversation about what this means historically, but it should be only motivation too.
Last two for Steph over here, right-hand side, Janie.
Steph, with this being the last season at Oracle, what do you sort of take from the home court advantage you guys have developed here, and the special fans, and also looking forward to a new arena too? I mean, it's a big deal moving to San Francisco. Can you kind of talk about those things?
Yeah, this last year is gonna be special. This is how many years we've played at Oracle, the journey. From some pretty down years to some really entertaining basketball, but didn't win much, to now having won 3 out of the last 4. All that happened in Oracle Arena. So our fan base has been tremendously supportive. They've given us a feared place to play in from an opponent standpoint, in terms of the noise and the energy and the atmosphere. And that's something we really relied on. And honestly, for me, it's my 10th year in the league.
It ain't because of the rice and roni, I'll tell you that.
It's something that I remember for a very long time. I think this year is about obviously representing that to the highest, honoring that, celebrating it, trying to go out in style with one more championship, and then obviously turning the page. But right now, this year is going to be really, really memorable, and I think we have an extreme opportunity to create a dope story around the last year in Oakland.
Final one for Steph right here in front with Logan.
Okay, Steph, obviously,
Skittles Arena.
You're going to be out for the offset of the season.
Yep, you already know.
Competition for the center position. How does that change how you, I guess, approach the center position? You know, being that
you know, with that GM, what was going to happen.
I think it could be an amazing opportunity in terms of something new, something fresh, and a chance for one of the young guys to really surprise people in terms of the work that they put in. I mean, Looney, JB, Damian, Jones, I mean, they all have an extreme opportunity to take their impact to a whole nother level. Obviously, with Zaza and JaVale gone and D West, there's ample opportunity. And with the core that we've had, that we've established, inserting those guys into the fold more consistently, especially early in the season, that could take us to another level. And take.
They're still going to be the Golden State Warriors.
And then when DeMarcus comes back,
just the new stadium is going to be in San Francisco.
Their confidence is going to be high. So no matter how that changes, with him back in the lineup, it only help us make us strong as a cohesive unit going into the playoffs, and that's the plan. So really focus on just making those guys feel comfortable, making them simplifying things so they understand, how they're going to be most effective and efficient for us, and then buying in and just doing it.
Following up on DeMarcus, how is it going to be, so late in the season, having a guy of his caliber to try to bring him into your nucleus when you guys already have a rhythm at that point?
I mean, I have no idea because we've never had to do something like this before, but that makes it interesting. It creates an opportunity for us to continue to evolve as a team. And throughout the 82 games, it's kind of like you can chop it up into almost like quarters around how the season's going to go and what mini goals we could set for ourselves to stay focused, to stay on task and on target. And when DeMarcus comes back, that's going to be opportunity, but also, like you said, a challenge in terms of figuring it out on the fly. The good news is he is extremely skilled, extremely smart. He's going to be bought in to what we're trying to do. That I feel like it'll be, no matter how long it takes, it'll be better for us.
Let's do one last one for Connor here. Sorry about that.
I'm gonna remember that, Raymond.
Yeah, I already owe you one. First day.
Steph, what's it like having your brother-in-law Damian Lee around, and just I'm sure you guys have already had a bit of a relationship. So what's that dynamic like for you?
It's fun. I mean, it's part of the family. Obviously, we spent a lot of time the last 2 years, especially working out. He's been out here in the Bay with Santa Cruz and whatnot, and I've been rooting him on when he was in Atlanta last year, playing. So to have him, obviously, in training camp as a two-way player back and forth, and the opportunity he has to impact our team, it'd be fun. And obviously, I get to keep close eyes on him. All right.
Oh, that is a shot at his brother-in-law. Oh, man. I'm going to keep close eyes on you. Steph Curry didn't got his trainer. He didn't got his trainer on the team. Y'all notice that? Steph didn't flex his power this season, y'all. Y'all ain't noticed. He didn't flex his power. This dude didn't got his basketball coach an assistant coaching job. He didn't got his brother-in-law on the team. Steph didn't got $200-something million. Steph Curry's sister married, what's his name, Damian Lee, who used to play for the Atlanta Hawks. she was dating him, and they end up getting married this year. So now he's a member of the Golden State Warriors now. So they got him on the team. I know, they all look alike, don't they? They all look like they one big family. Aisha Curry looked like she one of his cousins. But they say that's how the closeness of the bond is of the marriage. That people be together so long they start to look alike. Do you ever notice that? Mm-hmm. Well, let's hear KD is showing up now.
Kevin, Mark, Regina Bayer in his group, how do you handle this upcoming season, just knowing all the attention you might get of free agency and where you're going to go after the season?
Wake up in the morning, come to practice, and go home. up until it's time to stop playing.
Front row, left-hand side, Tim.
Kevin, a couple guys already all the way over here mentioned how nice it is not to have the trip to China. I'm sure that was fun, but is it a different mindset knowing you don't have to go all the way out there and come back, and how much more refreshed will you be not to have that? There's the word.
I mean, it was a great experience last year going to China and playing in front of those fans and representing on the other side of the world. But it did take a toll on our bodies a little bit, and mentally and physically, I think. But it was a great opportunity. I think we all took advantage of that opportunity. And, it didn't hurt us too bad. We came out and had a great season.
Kevin,
right-hand side, Nick.
You've been going against LeBron now for years and years. What's it going to be like having him in the West and going against him 4 times?
I don't think it'll feel any different.
Right.
Still the same.
Play him in the finals. Same ball we've been playing against.
Basketball, probably the biggest face in basketball and probably in sports. But, to play against them in the Staples Center, I think that's going to be pretty fun, because their crowd is always amazing, and there's always stars on the sidelines. There's always so many people in the crowd, no matter who's playing, but LeBron James is going to call that place his home. It's going to be pretty sweet when we walk in there.
Front row, left-hand side, Monty.
Kevin, there's been a lot of talk about all the things you guys went through last year, the challenges you guys faced and overcame. In your mind, were the things that you guys learned last year about yourselves as a group, can it make you stronger this year?
Yeah, I think any experience is going to make us stronger, especially when we keep that continuity. Coming back to this season with basically the same group of guys, I think that whole experience is only going to make us more comfortable if we ever get back into that, being down 3-2 in the Western Conference Finals and winning the finals in that way that we wanted. And I think that whole experience is only going to help us going throughout the season. And we got some new guys, obviously, but, with the influence of, the guys that have been here already, it's going to be pretty smooth going in.
Front row, left-hand side, Tim.
Kevin, you did sign the 1-year deal instead of a longer term. It means you can stay. It means you can go. How important was that option to you to keep yourself? You could do a lot of different things.
It's one of those things where you're just confident in your skills and you just kind of want to just take it year by year. And I think to keep my options open, it was the best thing for me. I could have easily signed a long-term deal, or I could have, but I just wanted to take it a season by season. And and see where it takes me. And I think this whole year is going to be a fun, exciting year for us all. And I'm looking forward to just focusing on that. And
KD is in better shape than he was last year. Starting the
far
season.
left-hand side, Mindy.
Kevin over here. Sorry, thanks. Based on what you just said, Steve Kerr said there are no guarantees after this season. Last year at Oracle, a lot of unknowns with free agents pending. So is enjoying the here, enjoying the now. What do you enjoy most about this team, though, specifically, that you're looking forward to this season that you're really going to take in?
It's the last run. I told you that.
I'm excited about DeMarcus and his new personality that we got coming into our team. I'm excited about being there for the young guys like Jacob and Damian and obviously Loon and the young guys that are going to play some minutes for us this year. JB, I'm looking forward to, helping them out as much as possible and learning from them as well, and taking some of that fresh energy from them as well. And I look forward to learning from the coaching staff all season. I think if you take it a day at a time, just stay in the present as much as you can, and that's what I try to do.
Front row, right-hand side here, Janie.
Hi, Kevin. What does it mean to you to have that preseason game in Seattle and kind of go back to your roots? And can you also imagine what it means to the old Sonics greats, to Rick Welts and Seattle basketball?
It means a lot. It means a lot. I spent the season there, and the fans were amazing to me my first year there, and it was very devastating how we up and left in the middle of the night. And I know those fans have been yearning for basketball for a long, long time. Even though it's just a preseason game, it's one game. Hopefully we could give them a nice little show for the night. But I'm looking forward to just going back and playing in front of that crowd again, and I know my teammates are going to be excited as well. The energy is going to be amazing in the building.
Left-hand side, second row, Phil.
Hey, Kevin, after back-to-back championships, can you just come in this year with the same approach, be professional, do everything we can to win, or do you try to find motivation in different ways or creative ways?
I think every time we step on a basketball court and we got a guy in front of us, no matter if it's practice, no matter if it's shooting rounds, and no matter if we're trying to figure something out there, I think that basketball competitive nature is going to always come out, just wanting to figure things out. And problem solving is a huge part of basketball, and I think no matter what, that's going to come out when you play the game. So I know we've been successful, but I think guys, they just love to play the game. So when you step on that floor, that's just going to show.
I see.
Front row, right-hand side here, Mark.
And after winning, 2 titles and 2 finals MVPs the last 2 years, are there any other goals on your bucket list, whether it's another 50, 40, 90 or a defensive accolade? How would you kind of look at any other goals you might have?
I just try to just do more. Just work on my game and see where it takes me. I've always been bad at trying to, aim.
Aim for stuff. Right, exactly. I feel like that too. Don't try to set goals and aim. And, I'm going to set my goals and aim and see where I'm going to end up. You don't want to do all that. You got to stay focused, locked in.
For a trophy or goal or accolade, I just try to aim towards working hard every time I step on the court.
That's right.
Whatever happens after that, it happens.
Center section, second row, Mark.
It's going to be whatever it's going to be.
At Media Day this time around seemed a lot less, I guess, less of a circus, less intense. And is that surprising considering you guys are up for a three-peat, or you think LeBron being in LA has something to do with that?
Yeah, for sure. It's new. I mean, everybody loves something new. I mean, we've been here for just our 3rd year together now, so you guys kind of know who we are and the show and the things. And obviously, we get us having DeMarcus, but I think him not playing early on is taking away a little bit of that allure of us as a team from a media perspective, I guess. But it's the same old story with us, same old personalities, and we are who we are when you walk in here. And we're just having a whole new team down in Los Angeles, just gutting that whole team out and bringing in, like I said, the biggest face in basketball and sports. Obviously, that's going to be a sexier story.
Middle section, front row, Logan.
A sexist story.
We talked about DeMarcus for a little bit. He's not going to be playing for the onset of the season, but you have a three-player competition at center. How does that affect you knowing that you're going to have, I think for the first time considering just a young guy starting on a consistent basis for the first time?
I played with young centers before, and I know it's going to take some time for them to kind of get their feet wet because they have a lot of responsibility, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And, you know, it's one of those guys, I look at bigs, especially on our team, it's like almost like offensive linemen. They don't get the ball a lot. They don't run in it for touchdowns, and everybody's not really praising them a lot. But they do all the stuff, the underlying stuff that we need for us to be successful. So I'm looking forward to going out there and trying to help whoever it is at that position before DeMarcus comes back, and just trying to be the best teammate I can to him as well. And hopefully it's smooth sailing.
And follow to that, DeMarcus coming back, how do you adjust to that so late in the season for a guy of his caliber coming into your nucleus? How do you do that so far into the season?
Well, we are smart players. We know how to play the game. We got basketball masters on this team that know exactly what to do in certain situations. And I think DeMarcus is one of those basketball geniuses that kind of knows exactly who he is and what he needs to do to be effective. He's probably one of the best passers in the league, passing big men in the league, so that's going to definitely help us. Takes a lot of charges and block shots as well, and can kind of get off the glass and push. So if he just plays his game, we'll fit in around each other.
Left-hand side, front row, Tim.
Yeah, Kevin, obviously your off seasons are always busy, business-wise and otherwise. Is there anything, one or two things this off season that you're going to remember that really were a highlight for you?
I think going into the summer, I was just so damn excited about winning 2 championships in a row, and that kind of had me on cloud 9 all summer. So even if I was at home playing 2K with my friends, I was having a great time. And just that whole feel of experiencing something new going into the summer with that experience was special. I wouldn't say I did anything different, or I went to a new place, or tried new foods, or met new. It was just the fact that I was really excited about the season. I was glad that I had some time off to kind of reflect, and it showed throughout my summer.
Middle section, very back, Ron.
Hi, Kevin. Part of your off-court story, I think, is how you've used your money, your investments, and such. Can you talk a little bit about your investment philosophy and how important that is for you being here and potentially staying here?
I think I get these opportunities because I can play basketball first. They respect me as a ball player and what I bring as a player. I wouldn't be able to get into none of these doors or none of these buildings if I didn't play ball the way I did, as truthfully as I could be. And I understand that, so I got to keep working. But I got a lot of people around me that give me advice, that mentor me on these type of things. I'm steady trying to just learn, and I don't think that and being here has definitely helped, but I feel like, I was trending towards that direction anyway.
One last question, second row, left-hand side, Phil.
So the boardroom, your show was just announced. I'm wondering like how that idea started, and then also you do so much of this. You're in the public eye all the time, but are you nervous at all about co-hosting something in a way that's different from what you've done?
Yeah, the boardroom is more so just a conversation of minds that all have something to bring to the table. I mean, we had an episode with Ronnie 2K, who's pretty much the face of NBA 2K, Breonna Stewart, who just won a WNBA championship, and CJ McCollum was on the show as well. We're just talking about social media and the impact that it has on the basketball business, and it's just the culture of social media and NBA 2K, and just how we all have our own separate brands. And I think it was cool to see, people from different walks of life come together and talk about what it takes, off the court as well, and how to build your brand up. We also had a show with talking about sneakers as well, and how big that business is. So it's just everything that every avenue that kind of branches off from this game of basketball, and hopefully it's shown pretty nice, and people kind of understand what we're trying to do. But I wouldn't say I'm hosting it. I'm just there, kind of just blending in with the group.
Oh, okay. Well, That's what they supposed to do. Right? So now we caught up. Now it's time to head to One Crack News. We didn't put all the work in here. And then we got some things going on screen thing. Your boy working hard. Hard, man.